everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Denial of the Day podcast. I'm here with Batman in his Batcave. Chris, where are you today? What country are
How's
you?
everyone doing? I'm not rock climbing today. I'm just hanging out by the rocks. That's my hobby.
I
I
love
like
it.
rocks.
Who doesn't? So, we're talking about an interesting topic that we're actually experiencing on a
Mhm,
weekly basis, every once in a while, daily-ish, right? It just depends. But
mhm.
there's something that's happening in the industry that is kind of a concerning trend that we, Chris and I, and most public insurance adjusters and most insurance litigation attorneys do not like. We're not liking this trend. Chris, what am I talking about, man?
Well, we've been seeing some very seasoned and very experienced large loss adjusters
Yeah,
leave the industry, whether they're being forced out, whether they quit. I mean, perfect example, we're working on actually with the same insurance company. It was the same adjuster, two large commercial claims,
yeah,
and just got a notification that I'm no longer with the company. And it was like, okay,
yeah.
so what's going on? Another one, a very reputable large loss adjuster that we do still talk to. Um, Same thing. Once the project was done, he was out.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what is going on?
And that
Like,
guy had been
why
with the
are,
insurance company that he worked for, I think it was 21 or 22 years.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
And he's
And,
just,
and these guys know their stuff. Like we
yeah,
love dealing with them. It
right.
makes the process go so much more faster and smoother.
Right. Well, I think what you're talking about, Chris, is part of the reason that they're getting pushed out. So this guy specifically that had been with his insurance company for 21 years, they just started making, the insurance company started making rules about how he could get paid and reimbursed and actually make a living and just started chopping down stuff that he's just like, what? Why are you guys doing this? This is not even reasonable. I can't make a living. You're asking me to do about 30 to 40% more work and now you want to pay me way less to do more work. And so it's just this big thing that's going on. And, frankly, what we're seeing on our end, like what Chris just said, was these inexperienced adjusters that are coming into the industry are just saying no because they don't know how to say yes because they don't have the experience to actually adjust a claim and look for coverage in the policy. Chris, what are some real world examples of what you're seeing on the front lines as the claims manager for Bellator Claims that when you're dealing with these insurance companies, like, what are you experiencing?
Yeah, it's a great point. So a lot of it, what I'm seeing is that these new adjusters, very inexperienced, have to answer to either a team, a supervisor, or manager. They
Right,
don't have the authority to make decisions on the spot like in the past we've had.
right.
And so we're
That's a
seeing
big
just this
deal
like
too.
it's a huge deal. So we're seeing
Yeah.
just like this delay. It's like, okay, we present our evidence, our cases are always strong, everything. And basically, okay, I'm going to talk to my manager. Okay, you talk to your manager, you talk to your manager, where are we at, where are we at? Oh, I talked to my manager, came back and said, no. Okay,
Right.
so we just wasted 2 weeks and me hounding you every single day when this could have been resolved with
Yeah.
someone who actually knows what they're talking about on the other end of just going through the facts. So that's one huge frustrator that I am seeing right now.
Yeah, and that affects our insureds. And we know the insurance company, we could talk about this on a different podcast, but I just want to mention it here. The insurance company has two directives. One, keep the money. Two, mitigate risk. And both of those things help them make more money. And the longer they delay every 2 weeks, like, so we call in and say, hey, this is what's going on. Or we send an email. This is what we need to get paid for this claim based on the policy and the damage and the method of repair and the scope of work. Like, we present the case and then we go to like a line level adjuster that is like, yeah, okay, well, I'll take a look at it. Have they taken a look at it? Have they talked to anybody about it? Have they actually done their job? And so, like Chris was saying, a week, 2 weeks later, oh, yeah, sorry, we can't pay for that. Well, why? Well, let me go back to my manager. Another week goes by. Oh, yeah, this is the reason why. Well, let's get the manager on the phone. Well, he's not available. Okay. And so it's like this big freaking runaround, which is what they do. Now, fortunately, we've been able to kind of hack it a little bit and jump ahead and get stuff done for our clients because we know the game that they play. And we
Mhm.
shortcut the BS and the BS cycle because we want to make sure the people that we work for, which is our insureds, are actually getting treated fairly and getting fully compensated for their loss to be as good or better than before the loss. But
Mhm.
these things that the insurance companies do on purpose, okay, because they want to save money, and they actually, it is in their interest to have people that are ignorant. I don't say that derogatorily. It's just the fact is like the people that have 6 months of experience or somebody that has 21 years of experience, right? It actually helps the insurance company with their two things: keep the money and mitigate risk. And so it's an unfair, unfortunate cycle and trend that we're seeing, but it's been actually accelerated. And Chris and I, we did a podcast, I don't know, a little while ago that was talking about AI. And so what we think is happening is AI is replacing these really seasoned adjusters by kicking out these denials or diminished payments or delays, whatever it might be. And I think it's only going to get worse before it gets better, but I also think it's going to get better soon.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think a lot of it has to do too. I mean, a perfect example, in any business, you have a boss and you have a secretary. And well, in a lot of businesses you do.
Right.
And you want to talk to the boss. And I feel like a lot of times we're talking to the secretary, which
The
is that desk
gatekeeper.
adjuster.
Right.
And so it's getting past that secretary slash desk adjuster to get to the person who has the authority to
Right.
make the actual decision. Now, when this trend started happening, one of the things, I'll point out to us, especially Taylor, is like, okay, we need to go back to the drawing board and
Right.
totally revamp our business to make sure that we're staying ahead of the curve. And that's what we've done. That's why we're still getting the results that we're getting. We
That's right.
are we have no shame to throw away the old playbook. If it's not working, we're gonna find a way to make it work. So that's what we're gonna
Yeah.
get out of Bellator.
Dude, I love that. I love that you bring that up because we did. We had to like kind of push out what I say the edges and like, why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? And then figure out like, oh, this is how we make that work. This is how we make that work. This is how we make that work. And we did. We had to adjust, I don't know, probably like 80% of our playbook to go back and be able to win for our insureds against the insurance company. So my request of you is if you are an insured, a property manager, a contractor that's working with an insured that is stuck on an insurance claim, contact us today, bellatorclaims.com. The sooner you contact us, the better it is because there's limitations within the policy and state law that could reduce your benefits if you wait too long. So contact us today, bellatorclaims.com. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you on the next one.